It was a good break. How you doing? We miss you. The last game you were covering the Champions League and you saw what happened. So I'm a very superstitious coach. So I don't know
Oh,
if I'm going to answer your questions right now.
I better not show up on Saturday for your sake.
If we get a bad result, you know why.
Yeah.
No, just kidding,
So,
Steve. Just
yeah.
kidding.
So I have two questions for you. One, how is Steve Birnbaum coming along? And two, was this break good or bad for you, considering you had a victory in the last game?
Steve is doing great. He's coming from a long recovery period and slowly start to get integrated more and more in our sessions. He's not trained fully with the group, but most of the sessions this last week, he has been part of our exercises and drills, and he's having a good feeling so far. So of course the player who missed the whole preseason, but he's having a good feeling in the place where he got the surgery. He's super positive. We know how important he is for the group, for the atmosphere, and he has a lot of experience. So let's hope that the next couple of weeks he can keep improving his fitness, and probably during our next break, and it's gonna be in 2 or 3 weeks. I think we have again a break due to the Gold Cup, where we're gonna play some friendlies. Probably he's gonna be part of those friendly games. So very happy to have him on the field, and he's having a good feeling. And about the break, I think was positive. I mean, to have the opportunity to work with a lot of pieces that I didn't have at the start of the preseason, to get automatics and to get teams into the teams, to coordinate those movements. Well, you need the players and the pieces, and we had those pieces during this break. And if you want to start the break, you want to start it with a victory and with a good feeling. So for the atmosphere and the feeling in the group and the confidence was very important to start this 2-3 weeks break the way we did it. And now it's up to us to pick it up where we left it, and try to continue in that road. It's gonna be a totally different game. It's even weird the fact that we have to play against the same opponent. If I put myself in Inter's Miami place, well, they will come for looking for revenge. They will come looking for answers, and they have good pieces and they have good players. So it's gonna be a tough game, and I don't think it's gonna be even close to the game we have at Miami. It's gonna be a totally different game with two teams who will play for the victory, and two teams that needs the points.
We'll go to Moises Linares next. Moises, go ahead, man.
Profesor, ¿cómo está? Vimos que disfrutó el tiempo libre viendo mucho fútbol, como siempre. Para el partido de este fin de semana, ¿qué espera? Ya que el equipo, bueno, consiguió una victoria importante, parece que le dio mucho ánimo conseguir ese triunfo de la manera que se consiguió. Usted acaba de decir que espera un partido muy diferente, un partido más cerrado, porque Miami podría venir a buscar esa revancha, pero ¿qué espera usted de ese partido? Y por último, si le tendría que dar un grado a los primeros 8 partidos, ¿qué grado sería?
Bueno, ¿qué partido espero? Voy a esperar un partido, como vos indicás, distinto al primero, por el hecho de que ya nos conocemos. El factor sorpresa va a ser un poco menor. Ellos ya saben cuáles son nuestros puntos fuertes y probablemente nuestros puntos débiles. Han tenido 3 semanas para preparar el partido, así que imagino que vendrán con otra actitud. En su momento en Miami han cambiado de sistema y han intentado adaptarse a nosotros, así que no sé con qué sistema o qué formación o qué táctica vendrán. Nosotros al jugar en casa no nos modifica mucho. Nosotros vamos a jugar para ganar, como intentamos hacerlo todos los partidos. siempre respetando al rival, sabiendo que todos los rivales tienen jugadores peligrosos de los cuales tenemos que tener cuidado. La evaluación de los primeros 8 partidos es muy buena, porque sabiendo de dónde venimos, de dónde viene este grupo, por todo lo que ha atravesado la temporada pasada y dónde se encuentra hoy, más allá de los puntos que tenemos, que en mi opinión merecemos tener mucho más puntos de los que la tabla dice, creo que la evolución ha sido gigantesca. Yo no esperaba tampoco en solo 8 partidos tener la evolución desde el estilo de juego, desde la intensidad, desde la formación, desde el sistema. Son muchas cosas nuevas para este grupo que no venían haciendo en años, y ya poder ver resultados en el campo, bueno, me gratifica mucho y me pone muy contento, sabiendo que todavía hay mucho por mejorar.
I'll ask you that really quick in English for our broadcast. I know Dave was probably going to ask it, but I asked you in Spanish. The question was, we know you're a tough grader based on the last grades you gave us during the press conference after the game 2 weeks ago. If you had to give the first 8 games of the season a grade, what grade would that be and why?
Well, I don't know what type of grade would be, but definitely a positive grade, knowing from where this team is coming, knowing of everything what this group has been through last season and this season, with all the injuries and all the obstacles that we had to manage during preseason, and seeing where we're right now. I saw a lot of progress and a lot of improvement. So it's definitely a positive grade, knowing that we still have space and time to progress, to get better, and knowing that, like I told you 3 weeks ago, 4 players who are doing the first starting 11 in the team. So players start to come back. Steve just mentioned Steven Birnbaum, and we still have some pieces that didn't got the minutes after 8 games. And every team, every player is important, and we're gonna need them. We're gonna need them all. But a positive note, and willing to improve and to get better in the next 4 games.
We'll go to Dave Johnson next. Dave, go ahead.
And then obviously you had a crowd when you were in Miami, when you played them in Miami. Now you get a home crowd. Is that something that's talked about this week, and how excited or how different will be that your thoughts just on having the fans at full capacity?
That's gonna be beautiful. It was already beautiful to have so many fans in Miami, and it will be beautiful to have our own fans for the first time since I don't know how long, full capacity. I hope they can come, as many as they can, and of course I hope we can give them a good performance and entertain them. I mean, I always say that, even when I signed it and I came for the first day here, that soccer is supposed to entertain the fans and the supporters, and we need to give them something to make sure that they come back the next coming games. And apart from the good result, because we all want to win, it's the way you try to achieve that result, and I think we are in a good way.
We'll go to Jason Anderson. Jason.
Hi, Hernán. Thanks for speaking with us. My question is about, well, I have had other questions, but people have already asked them. They think faster than I do. My question is about Ola in the last game, getting the 2 goals. It seemed like he looked maybe more confident than he had in quite a while. Coming off of a year where he had some injuries and the whole team had difficulties, can you tell us a little bit about the process to get him into a place where he can be in the kind of form we saw in the last game, and hopefully continuing for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I don't like those individual personal questions, to be honest with you. I always like to talk about the team and the collective. Ola has been working hard, as much as all the rest of the players in the roster. Ola has been performing for only one game. So let's hope Ola can keep on performing for many more games. But the way we play, of course, supports the style of Ola and the style of all our forwards. The more numbers you have in attack, the more scoring opportunities you can create, the happier they are, the forwards, and especially players like Ola Kamara, who needs to be provided to score goals. But once again, I tell you, it was only one game. It's up to us as a team to confirm that last performance in Miami. It will be totally different this time, and the opponents start to know more and more our style of play, and they start to adapt more and more. So it's up to us to find answers, and it won't be easy. So consistency is a key word in every soccer player, and let's hope we can help Ola as a team to keep on performing this way.
We'll go to Charlie Boehm next. Charlie.
Hey, Profe, it's a pleasure to speak today. We have two big international tournaments happening right now with Euros and Copa America. And having just read that Marcelo Bielsa uses World Cup and Euro goals in his training sessions kind of as examples, it made me wonder, do you work these tournaments into the training sessions, or have your players watch them or encourage them to watch these events? And also, is it possible that you're doing any scouting during these two tournaments?
I try to watch all the games, and it's just a coincidence you mentioned this question. We had a small side games tournament yesterday, and the losers, the punishment, if you can use that word, was tomorrow they have to present, to give a presentation and analyze about France against Germany. So right now, after lunch, that team who lost, 9-10 players, they were watching clips of that game, and tomorrow in front of a group they need to come up and present what are their thoughts, especially about France, off possession and on possession, and give us a presentation about that game. So yes, it's definitely something that I used to do in Belgium, and I'm doing right now. Using these talented teams with so many talented players, and we can learn from them from different situations. And I think this helped to the players to be a lot more into soccer, to start reading the game in a different way, and to don't be constantly given the answers. They are the ones who now needs to find the answers and tell us how France did to beat such a good team like Germany. So that's gonna happen tomorrow, and they were now working on that analysis. So definitely, I'm using those tournaments to help the players to understand the game a lot more.
And just as a follow-up, are you shopping on the transfer market for the summer window at this time?
Say again.
Are you shopping or considering shopping on the transfer market for the summer window?
Shopping. I didn't know you guys use that expression to go and look for players. No, shopping. No, I'm not shopping. No, we have quite a full roster. I don't know how many spots. I don't think we have free spots in our roster. We don't have international spots. We don't have. If we do something, we need to start moving and making like a puzzle. We are constantly looking for players the whole season long. If it's not for this window, will be for December or for next season. That never stops. So we are all the time watching for players, and if we find out an opportunity for July, we will do it. And if not, well, it will be for December. But that shopping, it never stops.
We'll do two more questions, Coach. We'll go to Emily Olsen next. Emily.
Hi, Hernán. Thanks again for the time. You've already mentioned a couple of them, but can you explain some of the challenges playing a team back-to-back like this with the break in the middle that's sometimes used to step away and recharge? How hard is that to do when you're facing a team back-to-back like this?
Yeah, it's hard because, like I mentioned before, we already know each other. We have a recent game where we play them, and both teams we had now 3 weeks to prepare that game. But in the meanwhile, it was also a good break to give minutes to players who haven't been playing much the last past weeks. We had 2 friendly games during the break. For us, was not a holiday break. Was a break to keep on building up our fitness, to give match fitness to the players who didn't play much. Of course, we had a couple of free days, even though some of those free days were with individual programs that the players had to fulfill at home. So it was an important break for us, and let's hope we can take over where we left 3 weeks ago, knowing that even though it's the same opponent, it's going to be a totally different game.
Last question, Coach. Go to Jeff Strauss. Jeff, go ahead.
Coach, goals aside, what do you feel like you need to recreate from the last victory against Miami? And conversely, what do you think you guys need to clean up from that last game?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It was kind of a perfect game for us. We didn't concede many opportunities against the team. Seems to be very solid defensively, and at the same time was able to create tons of opportunities. We have been missing a lot of chances, open chances, and even though you were able to score 3, so I was a very happy and satisfied coach. But once again, I know it's gonna be a very tough game on Saturday. They have very talented and experienced players who has a winner's mentality, and they are eager to show not only the whole MLS but also themselves that they were a lot better than the last game. So it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. If there is something that I want to repeat, of course, is all the danger that we could create up front, and hopefully we can be. Even though it sounds weird after scoring 3 goals, let's hope we can be a lot more efficient, because we missed a lot of big opportunities, and to still have a balance in the team. You don't concede a lot. The clean sheet is very important, and at the same time being able to create so many opportunities. That would be great, knowing that it's not going to be easy to repeat such a performance.